Of all the cholesterol-lowering supplements, the best available evidence is for phytosterols, which I suggested trying in a recent 3-video series, and red yeast rice, which I strongly suggested avoiding in my last video. Also considered an A level of evidence is viscous soluble fiber, that's sticky fiber. This part of the portfolio diet, which recommends 20 grams a day from foods like oats, barley, eggplant, okra, apples, oranges, or berries. Each serving of these foods only has a few grams, so getting 20 on a daily basis might be a challenge. That's where psyllium can come in. Powdered psyllium seed husk has more than 2 grams of viscous fiber per teaspoon. Based on dozens of randomized controlled trials, psyllium, also known as plantago, can reduce LDL cholesterol by 13 or 14 points. The psyllium husk works best, reducing LDL by more like 16 or 17 points. Dose-wise, a tablespoon a day should get you about a 10% drop in LDL. Just make sure you follow the instructions and take it with lots of water. Though even a 3 or 4 point drop in LDL could be considered clinically important, here's all the dietary supplements found to lower LDL cholesterol by at least 10 points. As you can see, bergamot appears to lead the pack. There's only been about a half dozen studies with a few hundred people, but bergamot resulted in a remarkable 55-point drop in LDL, thought to be because it seems to act like a PCSK9 inhibitor, which, if you're curious, I detailed in a previous video. Any safety issues with bergamot? Well, bergamot contains bergamotin, which is one of the constituents of grapefruit that suppresses the detox enzymes in our liver and intestines, potentially increasing levels of certain drugs we may be taking, so if you're on any medications, make sure to talk to your doctor first. There was a report of a case of Earl Grey tea intoxication. Earl Grey is just black tea flavored with bergamot. A man was drinking a gallon a day and ended up with muscle cramps and twitches, thought to be due to a compound called bergaptin, so don't drink a gallon of Earl Grey tea a day. Higher doses of bergamot extract supplements don't necessarily have a greater effect, so if you do want to try it, I would recommend the lowest effective dose of 500 milligrams a day. The latest study got away with only 375 milligrams a day, but only got half the effect. Artichoke extracts are next on the list. 13 studies gave people 50 to 2,700 milligrams of artichoke extracts for a few months, and saw drops in LDL of 17 or 18 points. Again, more is not necessarily better, with doses under 500 milligrams perhaps working better than higher doses, but looking at the graph, it looks pretty flat. Of course, this is assuming there's actually artichoke in your artichoke supplement. One study found that only 3 out of 7 dietary artichoke supplements contained as much as one of the purported active ingredients you'd expect. Another study found all sorts of issues, not only lower concentrations than expected, but non-disclosed fillers and other plants entirely. That's the problem with dietary supplements. They're so poorly regulated, it's hard to know what's actually in them. At the very least, you should test your cholesterol before and after starting a purported cholesterol-lowering supplement to make sure at least you're getting some benefit. Ideally, though, we use the whole food. In the case of artichokes, that may be 100 grams of artichoke hearts a day. It's about half a cup. I think they're delicious. I could totally do that. But I hadn't been able to find any canned or jarred artichoke hearts without added salt. The solution? Frozen. Look for no-salt added artichoke hearts in the frozen vegetable section in your local grocery store.